Hey, what's up, you guys? Fans Reviews here with our latest review with a comic book review, once again, of Carnage issue 2. Now, um, this issue doesn't really seamlessly pick up right where the last one left off, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because this issue gives more of a background as to what Shriek and the Doctor were doing with their experiments, and that's interesting to an extent, and it's going to provide a huge backbone to the story, which is essential, but doesn't necessarily it doesn't necessarily mean it's an interesting backbone per se, but we'll see how that pans out. But what I'm finding more intriguing and odd actually is the dynamic between Tony Stark and Spider-Man. To me, are the most interesting parts of the series so far. But let's think again. There's only been 2 issues so far, so anyway. But why I find that odd is because I picked up the series in the first place as a huge fan of Carnage, and Carnage is actually my favorite villain from the Spider-Man universe. And the reason for this is because Carnage, originally it happened at a character named Cletus Cassidy, who, if you're a fan, you definitely remember, and if you don't, Cletus Cassidy to me was just such a villainous and just murderous character that just really was just pure villainy through and through. And I just found that character very, very interesting, juxtaposed to, if you look at Carnage as a character in the Ultimate Spider-Man series, um, takes over Gwen Stacy. Didn't find that interesting at all. If you look at Carnage as a character in the New Avengers and what ends up happening between him and the character Sentry, which leads into this series, it's a good lead off into this, but it's not interesting as Cletus Cassidy. Now, rest assured, in this issue 2 here, Carnage does find a new body to inhabit. Now, I was a tad disappointed with who it ended up inhabiting. I did not expect it, which is a plus, but who it did end up inhabiting, I was not too happy with. So Carnage got a new inhabitor toward the end of this issue, so rest assured that the series is picking up a good pace. But I don't want to spoil who it ends up inhabiting, but I will say that Carnage ends up finding a new person to inhabit. But again, as I said, the saving grace here is the dynamic between Tony Stark and Peter Parker. The dialogue really comes through here. Peter Parker has some great wisecracks that I genuinely laughed at, and Tony Stark, again, being the smart mouth that he is, comes up with some great ones as well. And the art here is really phenomenal. It's really sleek, really clean looking. Some of the better art on the market. The artist chosen for the series was essentially, you can just see that he was very appropriate because he's, like I say, he's very good at making things look very sleek. And many characters that are in this comic have a sleek design via the symbiote and Tony Stark's suit. Carnage is not necessarily a groundbreaking series by any means whatsoever, but it is certainly entertaining in certain respects. And the only reason I would pick this up is if you are a hardcore fan of Carnage and you've been waiting for his return for a very long time. Carnage issue 2 gets a 2.5 out of 4 stars. This has been a Fans Reviews. Tune in for more reviews of movies, toys, and games and comics coming up very soon. Thanks, guys.